Oklahoma City Thunder. Now it's ended down to... Well, great stuff, DA. Thank you. An excellent matchup at the center position tonight, Brent. Do centers take it as personal challenges when they are in that marquee matchup with the name as big as theirs?
I think they do, Kevin, but with the way the game is played nowadays, I think it gets a little frustrating for centers because we often don't see teams just pounding it down into the block or finding guys in the post. So the way that they have to impact the game isn't the way that we're used to in the 70s and 80s with huge scoring outputs. It's more about offensive rebounding, great screen setting, and shot blocking.
They're so hard to officiate, too. Sometimes they don't know what they can and cannot do from night to night.
And the fact that the game is so spread out, all of a sudden when centers are in the middle of all that action and it looks physical, maybe more fouls get called because we're just not used to seeing that much banging going on in the middle.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for the Mavericks, we've got Matthews. Nerlens Noel is out there with Nowitzki. Then there's Harrison Barnes. And it's Farrell in at the point. Thunder off to a quick start here. It's a 5-point game. George. Matthews with the rebound. We've played just over a minute here in the first. Nowitzki a screen. Dallas again missing.
Man, he's had 3 good looks at the basket and nothing to show for it.
Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession.
Yeah, not a highlight reel play there. He needs to be aware of where he is on the court at all times.
For Dallas, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Farrell. He's covered by Westbrook. Nowitzki left side. The rebound by Patterson.
I'm not sure if it's a bad start or unlucky here. 0 for 4. Can't think too much about it. Just got to get that first one to go.
And Westbrook gets it to go.
Well, that's when his speed comes at you, and then he throws the ball out there with some length. Is able to finish around you.
Here's Farrell. To the middle. Nowitzki kicks to Noel. Dallas moving the ball around. Nowitzki with it. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Clock is at 3. And Dirk Nowitzki gets the 3. Nowitzki's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Outside Westbrook. Kicks it to Patterson. Feeds it to George. Patterson, the screen. Shot off the pick. George, no good.
Well, he could not have been any more wide open, guys. Wow, I bet he nails that shot next time he gets a clean look.
Nowitzki a screen. Farrell passes to Matthews. He feeds it to Barnes. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup. Barnes has got his first points in this one. Now here's Westbrook. He's tightly guarded. In the corner, George with it. Matthews with the steal. Pass to Nowitzki. To the middle. There's Noel. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there.
Well, he's a great finisher around the rim, but some stellar defense there stopped that from happening.
Outside Westbrook. Five on the clock. A shot by George. Wide open. George missing again.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Good on the triple.
A lot of times in the first quarter, it will dictate how big a role a player has later on.
If that 3-ball there is any indication, he's looking for his role to be a big one tonight, trying to get it going early. Sometimes you raise your eyebrows at the things Steven Adams does athletically at his size. Almost impossible to stop him once he's at the rim.
Every year they'll always put out an NBA survey of who is the toughest to guard. No surprise. that Russell Westbrook is almost always at the top of the list in those surveys. He just, Greg, strikes fear in opposing defenders.
And Kevin, it's a result of several factors in terms of why he tops that list. He has the game and the body to punish you for all 4 quarters, and he never lets up in his intensity. And also a knack for putting players who are caught sleeping on posters. It is both physically and mentally draining guarding a guy like Westbrook.
George dishes to Westbrook. 13 feet away. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Shots, gentlemen.
Dirk Nowitzki picks up that one.
Again, more attack mode play from Russell Westbrook. He just puts it on the deck and draws contact.
And for years, people used to criticize Westbrook for his shot selection. You're less and less of that, though, now lately.
Well, he's an MVP type player in his own right. He led the league in scoring in 2015. Remember, with Kevin Durant out, and he did it very, very efficiently. It's a good problem to have if you're Billy Donovan and the Thunder.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
George with the screen on Matthews. Off the pick. And Westbrook, here we go. And Westbrook throws it down.
Yeah, Kevin, hope that's not a defensive tactic, but that's what you saw there. Westbrook handling the rock and has the quickness to drive on pretty much anyone. And you look at the Thunder last season, they were slept on as a contender for the title. Warriors and Spurs, very, very good, but in the same conference. Might have helped the Thunder to stay focused and fly under the radar just a little bit more.
Enes Kanter's checked in for the Thunder. And Dallas with a change here, too. Seth Curry, he's checked in for Farrell. And here's Matthews for the 3. Dallas again missing.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
And usually the Thunder are favorites to go deep, and that's exactly what they did last year, all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, you look at what Westbrook represented in Oklahoma City over the past 5 or 6 seasons, and there's no doubt with that kind of talent, you're going to have a chance every year, Kevin, to make a deep push. He's one of those guys the defense always has to watch out for. Burned him there.
The Thunder have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
Well, he's an NBA scoring champion. Westbrook sure has improved his entire offensive repertoire since his days in Westwood.
Here's Barea. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
And that's just a great individual play right through the teeth of the defense.
Outside Westbrook. Cantor inside, covered by Barnes. Good chance here for George. Cans the shot with nobody near him.
Well, when you see a teammate over-rotate, you just swing it around, the perimeter's wide open.
There's the pick. From deep, Barea. Thunder with the rebound. In the corner, George with it. Passes it to Roberson. Back to George. Outside Westbrook. There's a screen by Kanter. Westbrook kicks to Kanter. No good off the pick.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
There's the dish to Barea. The feed to Curry. Barnes outside. And he goes right over Paul George and slams it down.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. George has got 6.
I know the difficulty degree there high, but he drains it.
1:39 left in the first. Barea kicks to Curry. There's the pass to Powell. There's a screen. Barea. And it's sent back by George. And here's Barnes for three. And Roberson pulls it down. Roberson's got his third rebound on the night. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
Again, using his frame and size right there. Westbrook, one of the strongest finishers we have in the game.
Mavericks trailed by 6. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And that one's good. Barnes. Barnes has gone 3 of 6 shooting from the field, 50% so far. There's a screen by Cantor. Curry with the steal. With the floater. Rebounded by McDermott.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
Westbrook passes to George. Back to Westbrook. He dishes it to George. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, people talk so much about shoot first guy with Westbrook. How about that time finding the open man?
The Mavericks shooting looking a little out of sorts early. 37%. Here's Barea, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on George. The Mavericks shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. And he knocks down the first one. And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for McDermott. Grant comes in for Roberson. Arenas is checked in for George. That's Felton in for Russell Westbrook.
Always a steady hand there at the free throw line.
Felton with the ball. Left side Collison. Three-pointer. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like all chores, pretty much 18 years of being rookie.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
Well, they've carved out a nice little advantage here, really by dictating the pace early on.
Steven Adams is out there with Nick Collison. Then there's Felton. Then there's Grant. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Felton kicks to Adams. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Noel. Finished off the break. Noel's got his first bucket in this one.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Adams with the screen on Curry. Felton dishes to Adams. And Adams with the slam.
There is some fluidity for a guy that size in Steven Adams. He's a legitimate option rolling to the basket.
It's stolen by Adams. Grant, right side, pass to Arenas. And here is Felton. Screen by Adams. Shot clock at 6. And the shot no good, a bit short.
He's not a polished post player by any means, but he must finish those looks in tight.
There's the pick. Powell, the pass to Matthews. On the wing, Harris. And Adams sends it back.
Adams is a decent shot blocker, but relies on his position mostly, that time in the right spot.
A different look for Dallas. Nowitzki comes in for Dwight Powell. And Farrell subbed in for Seth Curry. Offensive rebound. And Noel throws it down.
And what a gutty play. I mean, muscles his way to the rebound and then just pounds it home for the putback.
Well said, G.A. The battle on the boards, Clark, could go a long way toward deciding this game.
Well, especially when the game is this close, you recognize with your instincts the opportunity to help your team out. Just never flinched.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dirk Nowitzki says he can still picture himself as that kid from Würzburg. To him, it's surreal being listed among the legends atop the NBA scoring charts. Coach Rick Carlisle is less circumspect. He said there's never been a 7-footer who's played his position the way he's played it to his age. And he has a lot of good basketball left in him. Kevin?
Thanks, DA. A game that's built to last. Felton kicks to Adams, and there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, he's such a big guy, Adams, but he does move quite well, and that helps his ability to get to the free throw line.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Collison. And it's Doug McDermott in for Jeremy Grant. Mavericks trail by 3. And watching Adams go to work out there, he is a bit of an old school big man in the sense that Brent he'll throw his weight around and look to intimidate the other team.
Yeah, Adams willing to take on that role, take the punches and take the hits for the rest of his team. And it goes along with his great defensive instincts, I think. His activity down low, certainly a big help for this team's defense.
Now here is Harris, looking for his first basket still in this one. Outside Matthews. And Nowitzki wide open. He fires. No good. That would have tied it.
Well, after hitting a 3 in the first quarter, he's gone cold from the perimeter during this one.
Screen by Adams. Outside Felton. A shot, no good. And the Mavericks going the other way now. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Sinks the triple.
Now, I know he isn't the world's greatest three-point marksman, but the defense has to show some respect.
Screen by Adams. Dishes to Patterson. From the top of the key. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. Here's Farrell. Nowitzki a screen. To the paint. Up off the screen.
Basket through. Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here. Shooting one. And Dirk Nowitzki, wow, just continues to climb that all-time scoring list. You know, now he's in the top 10, and you know, I think he could get to the top 5 before it's all said and done. And a lot of times we view greatness based on that window where they're at their very best, but you also can view it when you look at guys who can sustain a level of excellence for a long period of time. And that's what I think really separates Dirk Nowitzki from so many others.
The Mavericks have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Farrell looking for his first basket still in this one. To the inside. And he lays it straight in. And the Mavericks lead by 3. And Nowitzki alongside Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, and Kobe Bryant as the only players to score 27,000 points or more with one franchise.
Kevin, you think of the Mavericks, you think of Nowitzki. I mean, the greatest Maverick player ever. He's up there with Hakeem Olajuwon as the 2 greatest international players in league history.
On the wing, Harris. Just 4 to shoot. Outside, Felton. Pass to Abrinas. Shoots the 3. Offensive rebound. To the wing on the left. McDermott, no one around him. And it's off from three-point range. Here are the Mavericks now. They're on a 16-6 run. Farrell passes to Nowitzki. And he drops it in from the low post. And now a 5-point Dallas lead.
Man, his shot on target, guys. They have the lead right now, primarily because of his effort.
Adams. And Adams with the slam.
Well, ferocious and power. Steven Adams on the inside, taking it out on the rim.
Here's Farrell. Harris outside. that three off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Outside, Felton. Adams with the screen on Harris. Felton dishes to Adams. Here's Patterson. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Mavericks leading by 3. Nowitzki kicks to Harris. Nowitzki a screen. Harris passes to Matthews. Here's Farrell. Goes back up. The shot missing. Felton with some nice D. Here's Abrinas. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. Abrinas has got it all tied up now for the Thunder. The Mavericks have gone 8 of 15 since we began the second quarter. Excellent shooting. Dallas calls timeout.
Get over here, guys. Hustle up. Let's talk. It's way too easy for different
Score. When you take a look at the numbers, how do you see them? How do you interpret them?
I think there are some things that are very advantageous for players to take a look at with regards to how it is that they play and where they're most effective. Because one of the things, Kevin, it can sort of reestablish your confidence. And there can be spots on the floor where you get to where you might feel better because somebody has presented those numbers to you. I will tell you, Kevin, that probably the guy that I played...
Hey, guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. Westbrook with the steal. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, he picked up the ball clean. He has a sneaky court awareness that you have to be careful around. That time results in the steal.
Here's Barnes, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Barnes has got 10.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Westbrook against Barea. Westbrook kicks to McDermott. Off target from outside. Westbrook dishes to Cantor. Outside for George. Back to Cantor. It's George on the wing. Goes back up. The Thunder shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. And he knocks down the first one. And George drops them both.
And with Dirk Nowitzki setting screens in the pick and pop and Coach Rick Carlisle's schemes, the Mavericks always have the foundation for a terrific offense.
They set the pick. That's it, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Finney-Smith.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
There's a screen by Cantor. Westbrook passes to Cantor. Here's Roberson. Powell with the steal. Barea, that's a 2-pointer. Rebounded by McDermott.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
And even though he's been on a roll tonight, that one was a bit forced.
Mavericks trailed by 3. Pass to Finney-Smith. Curry kicks to Barea. 23 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Doesn't go that time. George with the defensive effort. They set the pick. Here's Westbrook. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Westbrook's got 13 points.
Well, that's some great concentration there from Westbrook. Does a great job finishing off inside, even with the hand in his face.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. It's the Thunder. They're up by 5. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks. Rick, what do you not like about how your team is playing so far?
Well, we weren't into it. And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome, Paul George, taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 15 points and 1 block. He has bounced back nicely from what was a tough night for him in their last game. Judging by that first half, he's back to his old self again. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, I think they shoot a high percentage.
That'll do it.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. You look at Paul George in this game, guys. He's been everywhere.
The way he was able to attack the rim in that first half, defenders are going to need to start building walls and being connected defensively if they want to have any chance to stop him.
Yeah, right now he's seeking out every gap, and he's getting into every single one of them, bringing up some big numbers there.
Yikes! Wow. You know what? He wasn't going to wait around for any help on that break.
No reason to wait. That was all his from the get-go.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Barnes, right side. Drops one in from the wing. He's got 12. The Thunder leading by 5. Outside Westbrook. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And the Thunder, one of the best shooting teams in the league. And if they don't get you with that first shot, they have guys inside prepared for those misses to hurt you the second time around.
And you look at the Thunder's work on second effort plays. Brent, a lot of big bodies in their front court who don't mind throwing their weight around.
Well, Russell Westbrook himself is a phenomenal rebounding guard, but I think what happens too is that players on OKC set themselves up in great position to clean up any misses.
Robertson dishes to Patterson. Adams the pass to Westbrook. Outside for George. Fires the 3. Good. A nice assist from Westbrook. And that's 18 points for Paul George.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Yep, wanted to put another nail in the coffin and using those hands as a hammer.
There's a screen by Noel. Barnes outside. Just 5 to shoot. And the shot is good from Nowitzki.
And you're going to take as many of those high percentage shots as you can get.
The Thunder leading by 8. Adams with the screen on Matthews. And George kicks to Adams. And Adams with the slam.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
When you're playing from behind, you cannot let your opponent have things that are that easy. And that was easy.
And Noel kicks to Nowitzki. And stolen by Patterson. Outside for George. Adams dishes to Robertson. Now Westbrook. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
Well, an off-the-charts scoring night right here for Westbrook. It seems like he's getting just about anything he wants.
And the Mavericks. Call time here.
Timeout. Start it. Now that's how we play the game. Bring it in. Let's go.
Atlanta Hawks, these are offenses that teams want to be like.
Well, anytime that you move the basketball quickly and crisply, Kevin, you're going to move the defenses around. And as soon as those shifts happen, that's where great offenses take advantage of poor positional defense.
Grant, he's checked in for Robertson.
Well, he has a great ability to lead his man with the pass, puts him in great position to score.
The Mavericks have yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5. And Wes Matthews last summer, coming off surgery to repair a torn Achilles tendon. Frank, were you surprised to see the Mavericks laid out 4 years and $70 million under those circumstances?
A bit of a gamble, but with the technology of recovery today, they had to feel pretty confident. And one of the toughest, most dedicated players we have in our league. They said if anyone could come back from this, it would be him.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know that the Thunder hired Billy Donovan as its new head coach. In his 2 decades at the University of Florida, he led them to 2 national titles with players like Al Horford and Joakim Noah. A defensive-minded coach, he's developed into a great offensive mind. Fellas, that's what he's trying to bring to OKC. Moving the floor, as he calls it. Creating space for their great scorers to operate.
Ball movement, player movement. That's where the league is going, D.A. Thanks. And it's Paul George with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Harris is checked in for Dirk Nowitzki. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Kicks to Noel. There's a good screen. Barnes passes to Matthews. Barnes screen on Grant. From downtown, again the miss by the Mavericks.
Well, both him and the team seem to be off their game right now, and the frustration is clearly mounting as the clock is winding down.
Here's Barnes. No good, shot missing. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Westbrook on the wing, George. Adams sets the pick for George. Outside Westbrook. Left side Adams. 4 on the clock. And George with the stop.
He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
Mavericks trailed by 11. Here's Farrell. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. He kicks to Matthews. Noel, a screen on George. Nobody near Barnes. Here's Noel. Here's Matthews. Shoots over Grant. That misses off the backboard. The Thunder leading by 11. Here's Westbrook. They get it again. Kick out to Adams. Feeds it to Grant. The dish to Westbrook. Screen by Grant. Westbrook kicks to George. Screen by Adams. George dishes to Patterson. Off the left rim and out. Mavericks trailed by 11. Here's Farrell. Barnes passes to Noel to stop the drought. He lays it in. Noel's got 8 points.
And that's exactly what you want. Height mismatch in close leads to the easy layup.
Screen by Adams. Westbrook kicks to Patterson. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got his 7th assist in the game.
Well, improving as a setup man every year, Westbrook could become one of those guys, dare I say, double-digit assists.
Bring it in. Take a seat. I like what I see out there, fellas. We're playing like we want it more than them. Do not give them any life out there. Understood?
Is checked in for Steven Adams. Collison comes in for Patrick Patterson. Abrinas is checked in for George. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Powell. True on the 14-footer.
He has such a nice touch for a big man.
He gathers himself so quickly, really has a great instinct for hitting that mid-range jumper.
Cantor with the screen on Barea. The kick out to Collison. And the Thunder another 3.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Barnes sets a screen for Barea. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Berea's got his second bucket.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Yeah, he absolutely refused to back down there. Crafty lay-in.
Felton kicks to Cantor. Just 5 on the clock. It's rebounded by Dallas. Powell with it. And Berea has it in the corner. He feeds it to Barnes. Good, and it's Berea who picks up the assist. 15 points for Barnes.
He's an average three-point shooter at best, but the defender still has to come over and respect it.
Out left to the wing. The feed to Cantor. Outside Collison. Cantor dishes to Felton. It's blocked, and it's out of bounds to the Thunder as Oklahoma City retains possession. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Here's Berea. 6 points for him. And here is Curry. Barnes outside. Here's Finney-Smith. Yep, that one goes in there.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
And the Mavericks last season acquiring Wes Matthews, they thought they'd make a huge free agent coup in acquiring center DeAndre Jordan, but he ended up backing out of his verbal agreement and then staying with the LA Clippers.
Yeah, a real gut punch moment for a franchise that had been trying for years to acquire a star center to pair with Dirk Nowitzki. But they recovered nicely with the signing of Zaza Pachulia, who had a huge season for them.
And that one's good. Barnes.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Right, big scoring run fueled by great game planning and really some great shot making.
And the dunk by Grant.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Berea kicks to Barnes. Great D that time from Collison. Oklahoma City leading by 6. Here's Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish. Exactly.
They get out quickly, executed to perfection.
Ejected by Collison. Grant outside. And there's the pass to Felton, and stolen by Barnes.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, real quick. They got to get a shot off almost right away.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
And Felton is up top, guarded by Berea. There's a screen by Cantor. In the corner, Collison with it. He dishes it to Cantor. Lock at 6. And Cantor throws it down.
Using some brute force to take it strong to the rack. Cantor leaving nothing to chance.
And that's the final possession with the nice defense right there. And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. And we've reached the end of the third. Thunder lead by 8. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this.
Moments make players into stars. Moments make teams legendary. This is my moment. This is my team.
And let's listen to head coach Rick Carlisle review the game plan.
Keep playing. Take turnovers out of the game.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. We've got Russell Westbrook. McDermott is out there with Andre Robertson. Then it's Enes Kanter. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. Nice shot by McDermott.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Curry passes to Matthews. There's a screen by Noel. Here's Farrell. And the shot goes in.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Wesley Matthews picks one up.
There's sometimes games where Westbrook takes personal challenges at the big guys.
And the Thunder making a switch here. George is checked in.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Outside Curry. Pass to Nowitzki. Some nice passing here by Dallas. There's a screen by Noel. Matthews, no good.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
They set the pick. Now here's Westbrook. Here's George. He makes his 9th shot of the game. He has only missed 4.
Well, if you're going to give them layups, there's no way you're going to get back in this game.
Yeah, buckling down on defense, the key here. No more easy buckets, no more layups. Has to be the mantra as they try to mount that comeback.
Left side Curry. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And Nerlens Noel, already an exceptional defender, but his offensive game is still a great work in progress.
Yeah, they're trying to develop his free throw shot, and I think they're hoping his elbow jumper improves along with it. He can already pass and slash from the high post. And if he gets that... Oh!
I know it's just 2, but man, that's a nice 2. Westbrook with the insane creativity.
Mavericks trailed by 11. Outside Curry. Farrell passes to Nowitzki. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Nowitzki's got 19 points.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots for his team. I mean, he's had a very efficient offensive performance.
No doubt without these contributions, they'd be in a much deeper hole in this one, no question.
Westbrook dishes to George. 6 on the shot clock. Goes up to the stripe. Mavericks with the rebound. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And it's sent back by George. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Kanter. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th quarter. They double him with George. And Noel kicks to Nowitzki. Off target from the wing.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Inside and stolen by Noel. George with the defensive effort. The Thunder leading by 9. And Westbrook, here we go. Here's Roberson, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. Passes to Farrell. Plenty of space. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Now Westbrook dishes it to George. It's rebounded by Farrell.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Chalk up 2 there.
And he's showing signs now of life after going scoreless through the half.
Outside Westbrook. Pass to George. Out to the right wing. There's the pass to Farrell. Back to Nowitzki. And a miss there on the triple.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Westbrook kicks to George. Adams with the screen on Curry. Back to Westbrook. 5 to shoot. They get it back. Adams. And so he draws the foul on the shot. On trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, the Kiwi Adams, born in New Zealand, was the Thunder's first-round pick back in 2013. Steadily coming into his own now on the offensive end.
Patterson, he's checked in for the Thunder. And Dallas with a change here, too. Barnes is checked in. Matthews with it. Pass to Farrell. Kicks to Nowitzki. Here's Farrell. Patterson defending. The 3 from Matthews. Drills the three-pointer.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
And here's Westbrook. He kicks it to Robertson. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Here's Adams. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Well, love the aggressive play here from Adams. He gets the shot he wants. And now another opportunity to challenge himself at the free throw line.
And he's good on the second.
We always talk about glue guys and guys that do the little things to help their team. Steven Adams is certainly that for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not a big presence in the box to score, but when you watch him play with his team, he's willing to sacrifice his body, set hard screens, and be a presence on the interior.
And they continue to control the glass.
The shot's good from Westbrook.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Brilliant move, feeding him down the stretch. That last one was a dagger.
And Matthews kicks to Barnes. Connects from three-point range. Barnes has got 12 points here in the second half. And thinking again on Adams, the scoring isn't what makes him valuable. And it's his defense and his solid screen setting.
Well, I think it's his idea that the role that he has is something that he's very comfortable with, and he wants to be successful at doing it. He doesn't hurt the team by getting out of his comfort zone. Well, watch Robertson play, and you'll see why it is that he's respected amongst his teammates. Great length with his arms, can guard the 1 through 4 position, and blends size and speed. The only thing that you'd like to see is him improve his consistency from the three-point line.
Here's Matthews, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Well, sometimes being shifty in this game's a good thing. Body control helping out on that attempt.
Thinking a bit more about Robertson and his defense, he can do it all from jumping a passing lane to sending a shot into the third row.
Yeah, so really for him, it's all about timing. Very smart in the way he lines up to block shots and a good sense of knowing when to jump in and help off the ball.
Here's Westbrook. Outside, George. A second chance effort. The kick out to Westbrook. But they recover it. Goes up again. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
He's just fearless and unafraid to go up into the traffic of the defense. Westbrook takes it right to the bucket and a well-deserved trip to the line.
Mavericks trail by 7. Here is Barea. From the stripe. That free throw good from Barea. Both good from the line that time. Oklahoma City leading by 5. Outside Westbrook. Patterson a screen on Barea. Westbrook against Barea. Patterson can't get it to go.
And they've controlled the glass throughout this game, but it's still close.
Here's Barnes, and it's Barnes striking it down.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Here's Westbrook outside for George. Back to Westbrook. Lock at 6. Feeds it to George. The Mavericks pull it in. Matthews has got 6 rebounds here tonight. The dish now to Barea. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Nowitzki. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. And it's now only a 1-point Oklahoma City lead. Outside Westbrook. In the corner, it's Patterson. And a miss there on the triple. And they're in position to take the lead.
And how big would a bucket be at this stage of the game?
Oklahoma City's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Outside, George. There's the pick. Back to Westbrook to stop the drought. No good that time. And the Mavericks going the other way now. Here's Matthews. Count the basket and the foul. That's on Patrick Patterson.
Oh, that's the shot of the game.
You want to talk about clutch?
Matthews, no good on that one. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. They trail by 1. Adams with the screen on Barea.
Yeah, you could see the defense break down, but credit the aggressive play of Westbrook for making that happen.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And he ends up making the second, and that ties the game up.
Shaking his head moment there, had a chance to put them out in front, but at least they're tied up.
Dallas calls timeout.
Look, I'm fine with our defensive effort.
Check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
During that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear Rick Carlisle's message to his team. This game is obviously close, could go either way, and he wanted to make sure that his guys were all on the same page and were all staying with the game plan in order to close this one out. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
He was in attack mode. Defense wasn't. Just too easy.
And it's still within reach.
But only if they make every possession count from this point forward, and I mean every possession.
And the rebound goes to the Mavericks.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
All instinctual because he knows where he needs to go and then force the opponent to do something about it.
And so both free throws are good. And it's a 4-point ball game.
That's the killer instinct coming out. A perfect trip to the free throw line to lock this one up.
Now here's Barea. Got a piece of it. So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point.
Thanks very much, Dirk. Congrats on the win. How were you guys able to hang in there during the second half?
I think we just battled, and that was good for us. I thought that really...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. Superb. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Harrison Barnes. I'll tell you what, his season high in points powered everything they did. Clearly, he was the catalyst tonight as they come away with a well-deserved W.
He had the scorer's mentality tonight. Yeah, I think his coach do it. His teammates do it, and the fans.
And that is a wrap, everybody.